Hi guys, it's Ailey, and today I thought I would do a very chill sit-down video with you guys and talk about journaling. I have been getting a lot of questions on how I've been journaling for about 6 years, since I was in 6th grade, and I thought I would film a little quick video for you guys about all my tips on how I've been doing it. How should I start this? It's so weird because like I've been doing it for so long, it just comes so naturally to me now. But this is my current journal and I keep it on my nightstand over there. I prefer a bound one, so not a spiral one, just because like it doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed. Like if you're writing, then you're always gonna like hit the spiral and that's never gonna work. So I prefer a traditionally bound journal. So a lot of my friends tell me that, oh, they're so stressed and they go see the counselor and the counselor's like, I think you should start writing in a journal. And then they're always like that's just not good advice. Like, oh my god, journaling doesn't work. I think the reason why it doesn't work is because of the aestheticness that we associate with someone who journals. For example, I started to journal in 6th grade. So 6 years ago, there was no term called like the it girl. That wasn't a thing back then. I started journaling because I was stressed out and I didn't know what to do with that. And I realized that it was really helpful when I put it on paper. Even that 2 weeks or maybe 1 month, I was able to kind of track my growth. It was originally like an outlet for my anger, my deep dark feelings, right? Kind of like a creative outlet because I would also have doodles in there. It turned into a moment of self-reflection, of self-growth that I allowed myself to have for maybe 10 minutes out of the whole day. And that brings me to my second point, which is trust. It is going to take you a very long time to trust your journal. Here's what I mean. When I first started, I wrote that journal as if someone else was going to read it, which means the deep, dark, scary secrets that I had, I didn't write those down in that journal because I was like, oh, someone else is going to read this journal. I didn't trust that journal. There was like this distance between me and that little spiral white bunny notebook that I had. And everyone is going to have that fear, that distance from their like physical journal. For example, this was my old diary and you can kind of tell, well, no one's ever going to read this except for me, but I can tell that my first few entries, they weren't as personal. So trust is a major thing that you're going to have to build with your journal. And you're writing in this journal, right? And you're scared that someone's going to read it. The only person who's going to read your diary is you. And the only person that you should be afraid of is you. And this is gonna feel and sound super weird, but you don't have to be afraid of yourself, your future self, because your future self went through what you're feeling today. One day you're gonna start feeling like you can write anything in that journal, which is where I am today with my journaling. Journaling has made me feel like I wasn't going crazy with my feelings. I'll give you an example. Like, if you're really angry one day because you got in a fight with someone or you have some drama going on, you write that down, and then even maybe like 2 days later you read that entry and you're like, she kind of overreacted like a little bit, like she could have toned it down a little bit. And that's what I love so much about journaling, is because it's so rewarding, and although it does take time, it can even like affect you in like a 1 to 2 day span. My next tip is to write everything down, because no matter how stupid you think that feeling is, it's not. Here's what I mean. Oh god, this is really gonna be out on the internet, but it's fine. In like my old diaries from like elementary school where like I found someone cute or there was a new guy, I was like, oh my god. In my head I was like, okay, well, you don't want to write this down because you're gonna be embarrassed that in the future. Girl, write that down, okay? Because in the future you're not gonna be embarrassed about it, you're gonna laugh and you're gonna be like, yeah, that happened. But it's gonna be so far down the line that you're gonna laugh and you're gonna be like, that's very funny. And you're not like laughing at yourself, you're like laughing with yourself, like, yeah, I remember that happening. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just how I feel. My journals are kind of like a time capsule, right? So when I go through my first journal, I see the little sassy attitude that I had when I was writing it, and like the values that I had back then and the values that I have now are very different. And it's kind of cool that you can track your growth and you know, take 5 or even like 2 minutes to self-reflect in your journal. In my elementary school diary, that girl was so proud of herself. She thought she was it. She thought she was the it girl. And you know, now I'm like, I'm so sorry to whoever had to put up with that little attitude that I had 6 years ago or even 2 months ago, because reading back and looking back at your journal entries, it's like wow. It really is like, how did I get from this to this, and how am I gonna get to that? You know, it's like it's a process, and it's a journey, and it's a really nice one. My fifth tip, I honestly don't know which tip I'm on, but basically, don't force yourself to write. For me and myself, like, I can't force myself to self-reflect when I don't want to. Like, if you just had a mental breakdown, and girl, I've had my fair share of mental breakdowns, and you don't feel like writing, don't. You know, wait 1 or 2 days. Once you distance yourself from that event and give yourself some time, that kind of gives you like a new self-awareness. And so while you're writing in your journal, you can be like, here's what happened, here's how I'm feeling. The things you take away from that event will be so much more. Even though, like, if you want to write when you're angry, by all means, go ahead and write. But taking that distance for yourself and that time before you start writing is really important. So if you need that time, take that time. Okay, I think I can show you this one. I'll read it to you. It says, March 29th, 2018. These past few days went by really fast. It's official, I'm on spring break. Today is the night before my flight. I'm honestly not that excited yet, just really sleepy. I finally finished packing and I'm super sleepy. I don't know why I said that twice, but I think I was really sleepy. So night. And I drew a happy face, and you can kind of see my personality back then, where like the G's and the Y's were like super loop-de-doop-de. That's what my diary looked like, and there are some entries in pink pen. And I can just imagine this pink pen having like a big fluffy poof ball on top. But now, it kind of looks like this. You can just kind of see like my organization skills, my penmanship, and like that's just from the way my diary entries look like today. Like, I haven't even read an entry to you, and you can just tell like the girl back then, she's totally different from the girl now. That's just from my penmanship. Like, imagine if you were reading it, you know, you'll be like mind blown. But yeah, I really enjoy journaling, and I hope you guys get into it because it's a really rewarding experience, and it works. For me, it does work. So I don't know, you can try it out and let me know how it went for you. But yeah, thanks for watching, you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.